is what their downtown looks like. We started off with an icon that was based off of their grid pattern of their streets and their river. We created a multicolor version of that and introduced the overall downtown logo, and then also created this stylized, what they call the orb. And they use this orb to be a really nice, polished and smaller, it's smaller and bigger. Like that's the cool logo and then the comfortable logo. The city has done an amazing job using both of these. They have adopted everything fully, and I'll show you a couple of things. These are, again, additional examples. They have a separate district in their downtown called the Marina District that has heavy private sector investment. So being able to show how you can take a destination and create sub-districts so people can understand that there's development and growth happening. Again, additional downtown-oriented merchandise. Signage. Now, I've got a couple of examples of this in the presentation, but an empty storefront is one of the worst things for a district. So being able to take that and turn it into an opportunity. They did some mobile app, additional merchandise, banners, and then just kind of seeing how they went through and they gave every staff member a reusable water bottle, and then started selling water bottles and talking about water efficiency and being able to use reusable water bottles. They launched a downtown visitor center and integrated the logo into the brand, and they're using the seal the way they should on formal documents and in very, very formal uses. So you start to see this stuff. They actually create these great little graphics for Facebook every time they have job openings. So you can see that big jobs in SBY and know that they've got additional employment opportunities. Now from there, any questions about Salisbury? Does it kind of make sense? Yes?
Do you ever give advice to communities about how to get their citizens to buy into the new logo, especially when there's so much history and tradition tied into the existing logo? Because my community that I serve is Broken Arrow.
Oh yeah.
For the longest time, the logo was literally a broken arrow.
Right.
The new improved logo, which was released in 2007, is not a broken arrow. It's actually a straight arrow flying into the sun, because the slogan is "Broken Arrow, where opportunity lives." And
Right.
to this day, I mean, we're talking a decade later, people still hate it.
Yeah.
It's reviled. So what advice do you have for communities that are completely like overhauling their logos?
So one of the best things, well, first of all, you've got to give people an opportunity to interact on that personal level, and you also have to forecast that there's always going to be that percentage of your audience that hates the new thing. And I mean, you think about it with major sports teams, and I remember I was a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and Pittsburgh Penguins had this great old penguin, and then in the mid-90s, they adopted this new penguin. Well, they couldn't get rid of the old penguin, so they ended up with two penguins. So then next thing you know, you got new penguin, old penguin. And then every now and then, it's like, hey, just to shake things up, let's turn this into, let's do the old penguin on the front and the new penguin on the shoulders. And now, all of a sudden, what's happened over time is now the old penguin is the primary, and the new penguin is the secondary again. From you all, as a governmental entity that is rolling out the new identity, there's nothing wrong with an image of a broken arrow still being used from a community standpoint. It's not that they hate your new logo, it's that they're irritated that the old one went away. And there's a big, big lesson there. If you can forecast where a problem is going to arise, and then acknowledge that you figured out a way to preserve it somehow, some way. It can be very simple, but the acknowledgement that it will be saved is very important in the process. We worked in Beaufort, South Carolina, and for nearly 100 years, Beaufort had used the phrase, the Queen of the Sea Islands. Really beautiful phrase. We didn't know what it meant. Nobody knew what the Sea Islands were or weren't, We didn't want it to go away, but we also knew that we couldn't do a whole lot with it. So we preserved it as the community's moniker. I don't know what a moniker is. We made that title up, you know? We needed a tagline, a position statement, and a moniker, so that in our presentation we can say, don't you worry, Queen Sea Islands is still here. Look, we did a shirt with it. And then you see what I'm saying? It's like you almost just have to, you make a t-shirt that has the broken arrow on it and make it available and people will shut up. So it's weird how all that works. But it's a great point, because you do have to be sensitive to that, because it is amazing how much 4 loud people who comment on topics boards in their boxers can slow down implementation.